My final day of high school for me, my senior year, was more than eventful. Fights, losing friends, making friends, really reflecting on everything that's been my experience. I never had anything that exciting happen at school. Even when my abusive ex caused a hell of a scene at school, that was a day-long issue. I walked out on my final day of senior year, the baddest babe in town, escorted by both a teacher and an officer to my car. And no one knew the context until now. This is the story of my teacher, technically a student teacher, meaning he was training to become a teacher, asked me out, and upon further rejection, stalked me. It was just me and my friends in class. I was sitting in a different spot at first, closest to the student teacher's desk. He was mainly just observing. The day that he did teach the class, he was very quiet. Anytime he asked a question, no one answered him, and honestly, when he talked, no one could hear him. He didn't have that projecting voice like a good teacher would. So I remember I talked to him about it to be a bit better, a little more confident. He agreed, and ultimately the most I talked to him about in class was my animation, and just joking about it. I made a lot of dark humor jokes in that class. It was history, so there were ample opportunities. He found me funny. A lot of people did. I was 17. Nothing really happened until it was noticed that I turned 18. My birthday is on December 10th. Because I graduated early, my last day of school was December 16th. The events happened in the time span of 6-ish days. However, the signs were there the entire time. Let me introduce my friend Adrian, one of my ride or dies, my struggle buddy, who is in the same boat with me all the time. Not only are we in the same boat, we're sharing the same damn life vest. She noticed that before I moved seats to be with her and one of my other friends, the teacher would stare at me. I never noticed it. It became more noticeable when I moved seats, because he also moved positions in the classroom. Here's a blueprint. I sat here before, he was here. I moved here with my friends. He moved here, to stare at me. Only then did I notice something, but even then I chalked it up to nothing. I was a liked kid, I was cool with people depending on who you were. I'd even share snacks with the guy every now and then, because that's just who I was. Adrian started noting that he was staring at me, but at first it was all just poking fun. The high school, book, movie, whatever cliche, ha ha, a teacher might like you. It was all just a joke, and my god, were we so wrong. Not only did we start noticing how odd it was that every time one of us turned around, he was looking at me, direct eye contact. He didn't seem to be fazed by it at all, because he didn't stop. He didn't stop despite everyone in the world knowing a teacher crushing on a student is wrong. After we all noted that it was wrong he was staring at me, we commented on how he moved spots, how wrong that was too. Then us, being the spies we were, probed his social medias, found his Facebook. And his wife's. The guy was married and staring at a high school student, who at the time was still a minor. My birthday rolls around, he asks to speak to me. Christ almighty. He gives me a candy bar, one of my favorites that I had talked about before, and a coupon to a food place that we argued about a bit as a joke, saying it either did or didn't have good food. All he did was write a note on the back saying, "Don't get arrested for beating up a minor." I made a joke like that in class since I was 18 then, and I could be arrested for that since I'm a short-tempered person. You need me, I'm there for a fight. It was my birthday, an occasion. It didn't seem weird, it seemed nice. Not something that would have strings attached to it. But some people will do that. Some of the nicest people will have that grade of a mask, a mold. Then the minute something they say or do slips out, your whole image of them shatters in an instant. A small feeling you might have had before comes creeping into you, so settled at home that it doesn't even strike your chest at first. It just sits in your stomach, making you feel sick. Sick for even thinking that this person was someone you could trust, someone that wouldn't harm you. Then you realize every little thing they've done or said is all fake. It's all had strings attached. But maybe you've already signed up for a deal that's unfair to you. Maybe you're in too deep to say anything. Maybe it's something you're not sure about. You don't want to cause a scene if you're unsure. You don't want it to backfire on you, if you don't have any physical evidence. That was me. I didn't want to be wrong. I didn't want to go to someone about it and have it backfire on me. Ruin someone's career just for me to be wrong. Besides, all I had was a few more days of school left. As wrong as it seems to think like this now, all I was worried for back then was myself. That's the completely normal reaction. I was in a dangerous situation. I was dealing with something I didn't even know was happening until my friend stepped in. This guy that was completely fine with doing all of this in the open, even with another teacher present. Don't ever feel horrible for just protecting yourself in a moment like that. Even me, my friends, and my boyfriend putting all our heads together, we were all unsure and couldn't do anything. Because, after all, he was just looking, right? After I turned 18, after the candy bar, after he moved to be closer to me in class, I thought it was over. That was it. I talked to my friends and recalled how he shouldn't even be in class because he was only training. He was only supposed to be there 2 days of the week, and all of a sudden he was there every day. My real teacher didn't even seem to notice. Nothing on him, because I sure as hell didn't notice until all hell broke loose. I walk into class one day. It's EOG week. He calls me over. He recalled how I said I didn't really eat school lunch because I didn't like a lot of the options. I said, yeah, it sucks. I was still trying to be nice because of how unsure I was. The lunch that day was cheese sticks. I hated those. He loved them, apparently. He decided to strike a deal with me. One that seemed fair, that would be fine, safe, in the walls of my school, surrounded by other people. One that would have no strings attached, I thought. He asked me if I could get him lunch, the cheese sticks, because students got it free. That he would go get me food from a place I liked. I told him that it was okay, I'm not really comfortable with people buying me things, friends included. But he was insistent. He just wanted to do something nice. Something as simple as getting me food. So I told him the cheapest thing, just McDonald's. Then asked if he was sure. I eat a lot, so I get more portions than others. He said it was fine, so I just gave him my order. Then I finally sat down. On the bright side of it, I'd get food, but me and my friends found it weird. Very pushy. Odd. But nothing could be done. If he did it, cool. If he didn't, oh well, we'll get a laugh out of it. Lunch rolls around, both me and my friend Adrian get cheese sticks, and we give it to him. He's standing by the bench outside the cafeteria, with the food. It was fine. I had my friend to be with me the entire time. She was early out. Her ride was there. So we gave him the food, and being that I was a student, I had to stay by the cafeteria, otherwise it's labeled as skipping. So I sat down, so did he, beside me. He asked me about my art, my commissions, my passion. It made me happy since I was trying to do YouTube as my career, like someone was actually interested in my passions. Well, like the innocent angelfish I was, I bit the hook, because he got me. Then we just talked a bit, casual conversation about why he picked history to teach, stuff like that. Then the bell rang. We both get up, he looks at me, then asks me, "Hey, if it's not too much to ask, would you want to sit down and have lunch with me sometime outside of school?" I'm sorry, come again? The married man, teacher in his 20s, early 20s, asked me, the fresh out of the box, 18-year-old, to meet with him somewhere. There was no question, he was asking me out on a date. I've heard too many stories. This wasn't up for debate. He was asking me out. And he wanted to make sure it'd be a positive answer. He bought me the coupon, the candy bar, the food, asked about my passions, asked about purchasing a commission from me in the future, everything to keep me engaged, happy, in debt to him. He did this in the open. The bell had already rang, and there was a swarm of students around. Never in my life have I ever felt so alone, despite being surrounded by people. I was trapped. So this video took a lot longer to finish than what I thought it would, obviously. But I hope I can make videos faster for you guys to enjoy. I hope you guys learn a lesson from this and part 2 that should be out soon. Not sure when, but soon. I'll keep working on it as much as I can. And I hope it lets you guys know that you guys aren't always alone whenever it comes to your problems. I mean, you see how much my friends helped me in the situation. And I cannot thank you guys enough for the support that you guys have given me throughout this entire small little career that I've had, all of my story times, everything like that. I hope I can keep returning the favor to you guys. Thanks for watching, and keep food by you.